Hey, what's up, guys? Alan here with eatsleeptrade.net. Going to be going over the watch list for the week of July 20th, 2015. Had an extremely nasty cold this week, which makes no sense at all since it's the middle of summer and it's like 100 degrees outside. But whatever. Other than that, we had actually a really good week as far as the market goes. We had, I think, 5 out of 7 out of the stocks on our watch list worked out in our favor, and I think the other two are actually still developing and have not been disproved as far as our idea goes. Taking a look here at sector performance, you could see on the 1 week performance, technology is there at the top as expected with the huge breakout that Google had with the earnings expectation beat that happened this week. Looking down at the 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month, you could see healthcare is on top of all three of those again, which is a good sign, showing us that some strength and volume is coming back into that sector. Secondly, is technology again on all three of those in second place. So another good sector that could give a lot of opportunity for some money to be made and an area to find some nice chart setups. So sit back for just a second and we'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. First up on the list is going to be NVAX. We got a position started on this at 1186. Had a little bit larger position than I wanted to have, so I ended up taking some off yesterday at $12 for a 14-cent gain. So nothing too major, but it was at least enough to cover out commissions and still be profitable for like $40 or something like that. But the idea, I didn't really take it off to lock profits in and be profitable. Like I said, I just had a larger position than I wanted, and it was getting a little bit emotional for me watching this stock, with a range of 70, 80 cents to a dollar and going up and down. So I took a little bit off so that way I could remove a little bit of that emotional part of it and be able to let the play develop a little bit more. And I think as long as we hold this 1186 area of support that we recently broke through, I think that we'll be set up to make another move higher as this consolidates and forms a decent flag. So that's what I'm going to be watching the next week, letting my little bit of a smaller position kind of pan out and see if we can't make another break back up to that 1250 area. And let's see, next up on the list, let's take a look at GERN. Great little ascending triangle formation here. You can see the range is tightening overall, which is always a good sign, leading up to typically a large breakout. We took a position starting on this one today, anticipating that breakout above this 444 or 445 area of resistance. And I like the entry here as we are starting to put in some higher lows. And if the trade itself doesn't pan out, it's really minimal risk with our stop there at a prior day low, or even down at the 50-day, which is right around $4 right now. If this thing continues to kind of grind up in this area before it breaks out, no big deal. I have a smaller position on it and plan just letting that kind of work out. And a little bit of volume on this thing can really, as you can see from prior swings, can really push this thing up. And you've almost got a gap fill here as we work into this area. So I think that'll give us a large range of movement with volume if we get above that 445 area of resistance. So letting this ascending triangle develop, smaller position, minimal risk, and if it doesn't pan out for us, it's not too big a deal, not a whole lot of loss. So next we're going to take a look at AMRN. We got a huge daily wedge on this thing. Very large range. You're looking at from under $1 up to $3. So huge range, and it's been consolidating now for quite some time. You could see it's holding just above the 50-day moving average, and you could also see that the 50-day is starting to curl back up now, which usually can give a sign that a uptrend or a positive movement is forming. So we're going to be looking for the break on the top side of this consolidation and look to hold that support area right around that 50-day, which is around 230 or so right now. So good opportunity if we break to the wedge with our risk, around that 230 area. So very minimal risk, 10-20 cents max, with a possible breakout hopefully up to that 270 280 area. And next, we're going to take a look at CERS. Another kind of ascending triangle setup here. I'm kind of watching for one of two things to happen. Either a big burst of volume comes in on the break above this 570 area of resistance here. You could see that was a pretty major area of resistance in the past on this chart, and now is, or I'm sorry, a major area of support, in the past on this chart. And here we are now, that same support area tending to act as resistance. And we did get the slight close above it today. But considering that this is a range, it's not necessarily guaranteed that that's a resistance breakout. So I'm looking for one of two things: either a continuation breakout into next week above this area, or maybe even possibly just a pullback back down to this trend line or the 50-day before we can consolidate a little bit and then get a breakout on that. So that's what we're going to be watching for on CERS, is that 570 area, and look to get above it. Next on the list is NEO. We've got a picture perfect pennant setting up right here on this. You can see the huge move that it had back on the 9th, and now it's just consolidating tightly up at the top there, and the range is getting tighter and tighter. Perfect little pennant setup, and if we start to break out to the top side of this one here, definitely going to be looking to take a position long on that. Another setup that's placed with minimal risk and could lead to a very nice size reward if we break out to new 52-week highs and volume comes in. As you can see from this large bar on the 9th, this thing can definitely put in some large rooms with a little bit of momentum to push it up. The RSI is not overbought, which is always good, and it's cooling off a little bit, so it gives us a little bit of room to run that thing and push it up a little bit higher. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the watch list for this week. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Also, check out the website eatsleeptrade.net. From there, you can follow us on Twitter as well as like our Facebook page so you can stay up to date on all the stocks that we're watching and trading. Also been doing a lot of updates and adding a bunch of new stuff to our site, trying to improve it and just make it a little bit more user friendly. So please feel free to leave feedback as well on the site. You can also subscribe on our site to get our email or our watch list emailed to you guys. Alright guys, so thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.